Inflation came in at a 40-year high this past week, and Bitcoin, everyone wants to know, what is going on? Is it an inflation hedge asset? Is it a safe haven? Well, this episode of the On-Chain Metrics Breakdown every Saturday morning is brought to you by FTX, so let's go ahead and dive right into the actual metrics. First, if we take a look at Bitcoin, we can see that it's trading just below $30,000 or so, which is down 2.83% over the last 24 hours. Then if we take a look at the actual network itself, we can see that the market cap of Bitcoin sits at $550 billion. The current inflation rate is at 1.76%. 90% of all Bitcoin has already been issued into the circulating supply. The real exchange volume over the last 24 hours is $3.8 billion. Miners have been paid $27 million over the last 24 hours to continue to secure the decentralized network of Bitcoin. The GBTC premium is actually a discount. It's down more than 25% from its NAV. And of course, Bitcoin is down 57% from its all-time high. If we then go ahead and we compare Bitcoin Gold and the S&P 500, over the last year, Bitcoin's down 20% and gold and the S&P are negative as well. But over a 2 to 10 year time frame, Bitcoin continues to drastically outperform both of these other assets. Then if we take a look at the price, what we can see is that Bitcoin at this point has traded above this level for 507 days in its entire life. That means 89% of the time, if you had bought Bitcoin and held till today, you would be up in terms of US dollar value. Then if we go ahead and we take a look at Bitcoin compared to other assets, we can see Bitcoin versus gold, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and TLT. Bitcoin's compound annual growth rate is 135%, drastically outperforming the other assets. And Bitcoin's 5-year Sharpe ratio continues to dominate, sitting at 1.11, meaning that if you take Bitcoin and you put it into a portfolio, it has a number of advantageous properties. Now, of course, looking at the actual metrics of Bitcoin in terms of its network health and its comparison on a financial standpoint to other assets is helpful. But let's dig into on-chain metrics. No one does it better than the team over at Blockware and Will Clemente. First, we can start out with a price temperature of Bitcoin. And to illustrate the significance of this current drawdown, what we see is that many standard deviations of market price is near a 4-year trend. Bitcoin approaching that 4-year trend, which sits just above 21,000. Next up, we can go ahead and take a look at short-term holders and the percentage of total supply and profit held by those short-term holders. It continues to retest its historical lows. Then we can switch and take a look at one of the lowest readings in short-term holder profit-loss ratio. And we can see that we continue to sit firmly below the neutral level. As we take a look at traditional bear market behaviors, we can see that short-term holders both capitulate and age past that 155-day threshold into long-term holders. And so if we take a look, looking at the on-chain cost basis, we see that on-chain cost basis coming closer and closer with price. Another bottom signal that they continue to watch is that they're looking at the market price pushing below the aggregated realized price. And so what you can see here is that it's getting close. The team over at Blockware doesn't want to sound like a broken record these last few weeks, but there's not much to do but simply wait. On the derivative side, they don't see anything really changing. The spot premium to futures has persisted for months now, and one of the longest regimes of which in Bitcoin's history. Then if you take a derivative of premium, the aggregated funding rates for perpetual futures, those remain muted as well. Next up, if we take a look at hash price, what we can see is that the miners are essentially short hash rate, short difficulty, and long the Bitcoin price. And with that in mind, miner margins have been getting broadly compressed with hash rising, difficulty rising, and the price dropping. If we go ahead and take a look at that margin compression, we can see that it's led to some selling of inventory from miners. Something to keep an eye on, and it will be expanded upon more in the mining sector in the future. Remarkably though, the amount of Bitcoin supply that hasn't moved in at least a year continues to climb. And now we are at an all-time high. 65.5% of all Bitcoin circulating supply has not moved in at least a year. And lastly, that Asian trading premium that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, it's starting to come down slightly, and something that has been a good signal over the last 2 years, and everyone will continue to monitor. The team over at Blockware does a great job with the on-chain metric, and I highly suggest that you go ahead and subscribe to their newsletter. And of course, you yourself, using on-chain metrics or a variety of other tools, can go look at the various data points on the blockchain yourself. Speaking of yourself, one of the things I think you should go check out is FTX. FTX has got a great product. Not only is the user interface very friendly and easy and simple to navigate, But on top of that, they've got some of the best pricing in the entire crypto market. Many times they're 85% cheaper than any of their competitors. On top of having great liquidity and great pricing, FTX is also now starting to use digital stocks, which are in beta. You'll be able to trade crypto and stocks all from one place. The stocks will have no transaction fees and no payment for order flow, so you get better pricing. And on top of that, between today and Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, FTX is going to be giving out $10,000. 2 people will win $5,000. All you have to do is go into the description, click on the link, open an FTX account, and they'll randomly select 2 people. Each one will get $5,000. That's awesome from FTX US. I hope you guys enjoy their product. I hope you enjoy these updates, and I'll see you guys next Saturday.